Listen up, the clock is ticking and every second you wait is a second lost. You want success, you want fulfillment, then master these 3 skills before it's too late. Because let me tell you, opportunity doesn't wait. The people who win in life aren't the smartest or the luckiest. They're the ones who take action, who communicate powerfully, and who build unshakable relationships. If you don't develop these skills, life will pass you by. But if you do, you become unstoppable. So, are you ready to step up, take control, and dominate your future? Then let's get started. The power of effective communication is the foundation of every successful person's journey. It is not just about speaking. It's about influencing, persuading, and connecting with people on a deep level. Think about the most powerful leaders, business moguls, and influential figures in history. What is the one thing they all had in common? They could move people with their words. They could paint a vision so compelling that others wanted to follow them. They could negotiate in high-stakes situations. They could build trust, resolve conflicts, and inspire action, all through their ability to communicate. Yet most people neglect this skill. They assume that because they can talk, they can communicate. But there's a world of difference between talking and truly delivering a message that sticks. If you want to lead, if you want to sell, if you want to create a lasting impact in the world, you must become a master of communication. First, understand that communication isn't just about speaking, it's also about listening. The best communicators are not the ones who dominate the conversation. They are the ones who understand what others need, what they fear, and what drives them. When you truly listen, you gain insights that allow you to connect with people on a deeper level. But listening alone is not enough. You must also develop the ability to articulate your thoughts clearly and confidently. A powerful message, poorly delivered, loses its impact. People respond to energy, certainty, and conviction. When you speak with confidence and clarity, people take you seriously. They believe in your words. Then comes the art of storytelling. Stories are the most powerful way to capture attention and make your message unforgettable. Why? Because stories engage emotions. Facts tell, but stories sell. Whether you are pitching an idea, leading a team, or trying to win someone over, a well-told story can make all the difference. Learn to share stories that inspire, that paint a vivid picture, that make people feel something. Another crucial part of communication is body language. Research shows that over 70% of communication is nonverbal. Your tone, your gestures, your posture, all of it affects how your message is received. You could be saying all the right words, but if your body language lacks confidence, people will doubt you. Stand tall, make eye contact, and project authority. Your presence should command attention before you even speak a word. In addition to speaking and nonverbal cues, you must also master written communication. In today's digital world, emails, social media, and texts play a major role in how we connect with others. How many opportunities are lost because of poorly written messages? A vague email, a weak pitch, an uninspiring post. These things matter. If you can't communicate effectively in writing, you're missing out on a powerful tool to influence and persuade. Another vital element of communication is handling difficult conversations. Whether it's negotiating a deal, addressing conflict, or delivering tough feedback, most people avoid these conversations out of fear. But great communicators don't shy away from them, they lean in. They know that the ability to navigate tough conversations with confidence and tact is what separates leaders from followers. If you can master this skill, you become someone people respect, someone who can resolve conflicts with grace, and someone who can turn challenges into opportunities. Communication is also about understanding your audience. You don't speak the same way to a CEO as you do to a close friend. You don't pitch a business idea the same way you tell a joke at dinner. The best communicators know how to adapt their style based on the person in front of them. They can read the room, adjust their approach, and make their message land effectively. If you want to be successful, if you want to lead, if you want to make an impact, you must prioritize communication. It is not a soft skill. It is the skill that determines how far you go in life. When you learn to communicate with power, doors will open that you never imagined possible. You will build stronger relationships. You will command attention. You will influence the world around you. So, what's the next step? Start practicing every single day. Challenge yourself to speak with more clarity and confidence. Work on your storytelling, improve your writing, study great speakers and learn from them. Step into more difficult conversations instead of avoiding them. Pay attention to how people respond to you and refine your approach. Because in the end, the people who rise to the top are not just the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who can communicate their vision so powerfully that others can't help but believe in it. Life will challenge you. There will be moments when everything seems to be falling apart, when the obstacles feel too big and when the pressure feels unbearable. It is in these moments that emotional resilience becomes your most valuable asset. Most people let their emotions control them. They react to circumstances rather than choosing how to respond. They let fear, doubt, frustration, or anger dictate their decisions, and in doing so, they give away their power. But the people who succeed, the ones who break through barriers and rise to the top, have mastered the ability to control their emotions rather than being controlled by them. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship. It's about facing challenges head on and coming out stronger. It's about developing the mental toughness to handle rejection, failure, criticism, and setbacks without losing momentum. Life doesn't get easier, the problems don't disappear, but you get stronger. And when you get stronger, the problems that once seemed overwhelming start to feel like small bumps on the road instead of insurmountable walls. One of the biggest differences between those who thrive and those who struggle is their ability to shift their mindset in the face of adversity. Most people see challenges as roadblocks. They take failure personally. They assume that because something didn't work out, it means they are not capable. But resilient people see setbacks differently. They understand that failure is not a reflection of their worth. It's a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of growth. They ask, what can I learn from this, instead of, why is this happening to me? That simple shift in perspective changes everything. Building emotional resilience starts with self-awareness. You must become conscious of your emotional patterns, how you react under stress, what triggers your frustration, what makes you feel anxious or doubtful. When you understand your emotional tendencies, you gain the power to break negative cycles and create new, empowering responses. Instead of reacting automatically, you learn to pause, evaluate, and choose a response that serves you rather than limits you. Another key factor in resilience is learning how to control your focus. Whatever you focus on, you feel. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, what's missing, or what could go wrong, you will feel overwhelmed, anxious, and defeated. But if you train yourself to focus on solutions, opportunities, and what you can control, your energy shifts. You start to see possibilities instead of limitations. You develop a mindset that allows you to navigate uncertainty with confidence rather than fear. Your physiology also plays a major role in your emotional resilience. How you move, how you breathe, how you carry yourself, all of it affects your emotional state. Think about how your body feels when you're stressed. Your shoulders tense up, your breathing becomes shallow, your posture collapses. Now compare that to how you feel when you're confident. Your chest is open, your breathing is deep, your movements are strong. Your body influences your mind just as much as your mind influences your body. If you want to shift your emotional state, start by shifting your physiology. Stand tall, take deep breaths, move with energy. These small changes can have a massive impact on how you feel and how you handle challenges. One of the most powerful ways to build resilience is by conditioning your mind daily. Just like physical strength comes from consistent training, mental toughness comes from repeated exposure to challenges and the decision to push through. The more you face discomfort, the stronger you become. This is why successful people intentionally put themselves in difficult situations. They seek out challenges, they embrace discomfort, they train themselves to handle pressure rather than run from it. Developing resilience also requires mastering your inner dialogue. The way you talk to yourself determines your level of mental toughness. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm not good enough, or this is too hard, you reinforce a mindset of weakness. But if you train yourself to say, I can handle this, I always find a way, and this is making me stronger, you start to rewire your brain for resilience. Your thoughts shape your emotions, and your emotions shape your actions. If you want to be unstoppable, you must take control of the way you speak to yourself. Surrounding yourself with the right people is another critical element of resilience. The people you spend time with influence your mindset, whether you realize it or not. If you are constantly around negative, fearful, or excuse-driven individuals, their energy will drain you. But if you surround yourself with driven, growth-oriented, solution-focused people, their mindset will elevate yours. Find people who inspire you, who challenge you, who remind you of your strength when you forget it yourself. Ultimately, resilience is about choosing growth over comfort, strength over weakness, and action over excuses. It's about training yourself to face life's challenges with confidence rather than fear. The people who succeed are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who refuse to let struggle define them. They rise every time they fall. They turn pain into power, and they come out stronger, smarter, and more unstoppable than before. The question is, will you be one of them? Money is one of the most powerful forces in life. It dictates how you live, the opportunities you can access, and the level of freedom you experience. Yet most people never take the time to truly understand it. They work hard for money, but they never learn how to make money work for them. They spend their entire lives chasing paychecks, struggling with debt, and feeling stressed about finances. This happens because financial intelligence is rarely taught in schools, and as a result, most people are left to figure it out on their own, often through costly mistakes. The truth is, financial intelligence is not just about how much money you make. It's about how you manage, grow, and leverage it. Some people earn millions and still go broke, while others make modest incomes but build lasting wealth. The difference isn't luck, it's knowledge and discipline. If you don't master your finances will master you. Understanding money gives you control over your life. It allows you to make decisions based on freedom and choice rather than fear and obligation. The first step to financial intelligence is changing your mindset about money. Most people see money as something scarce, something difficult to obtain, something they must work endlessly for. This scarcity mindset keeps them stuck in survival mode, constantly worrying about expenses and never feeling like they have enough. But wealthy people think differently. They see money as a tool, something that can be created, multiplied, and used to generate more opportunities. They understand that money is not just earned through labor, it is earned through strategy, smart decisions, and the ability to recognize opportunities. One of the biggest financial traps people fall into is living beyond their means. Society encourages consumption, bigger houses, luxury cars, expensive gadgets, without teaching financial responsibility. People spend money they don't have, taking on loans and credit card debt just to maintain an image of success. But real financial intelligence is not about looking rich. It's about building wealth quietly and strategically. This starts with learning how to manage money effectively. Wealthy people don't just focus on making money, they focus on keeping and growing it. They know exactly where their money's going, they track their expenses, and they avoid unnecessary debt. They prioritize assets over liabilities, investments that generate income rather than purchases that drain their bank accounts. Investing is a critical component of financial intelligence. Most people are afraid to invest because they don't understand it. They think it's risky, complicated, or only for the rich. But the truth is, not investing is the biggest risk of all. If you rely solely on a paycheck, you will always be trading time for money, and there will always be a limit to how much you can earn. But when you learn to invest, whether in stocks, real estate, businesses, or other assets, you create passive income streams that allow your money to work for you even when you're not working. This is how true wealth is built. One of the most important principles in financial intelligence is understanding the power of compounding. Small, smart financial decisions made consistently over time can lead to massive results. People often underestimate the impact of saving and investing early. They think it's just a small amount, it won't make a difference. But when money is invested wisely, it grows exponentially. The earlier you start, the greater the rewards. Even a small investment made consistently over time can turn into a fortune thanks to the power of compound growth. Another critical aspect of financial intelligence is learning to increase your earning potential. Too many people accept their current income as fixed, never realizing they have the ability to create more. Wealthy individuals are always looking for ways to increase their value in the marketplace, whether through developing new skills, starting businesses, or finding additional income streams. If you want to build financial security, you must adopt the mindset of constant growth and adaptability. In today's fast-changing world, relying on a single source of income is risky. The most successful people understand the importance of diversification. They don't put all their eggs in one basket. They create multiple streams of income that protect them from uncertainty. Financial intelligence is also about making smart decisions when it comes to spending. Many people believe that being wealthy means spending money freely. But the truth is, Most self-made millionaires are extremely intentional with their money. They know the difference between spending on things that bring short-term pleasure versus investing in things that bring long-term value. Instead of wasting money on fleeting luxuries, they invest in their education, in their businesses, in opportunities that will pay off in the future. Finally, true financial intelligence means being prepared for the unexpected. Life is unpredictable. Emergencies happen, economies crash, industries change. The people who thrive financially are the ones who have a plan in place before they need it. They build emergency funds, they have insurance. They create financial safety nets that protect them from setbacks. Because when you have financial security, you gain the freedom to take risks, pursue opportunities, and live life on your own terms. Mastering financial intelligence is not about greed, it's about freedom. It's about creating a life where you are not controlled by money, but instead use money as a tool to build the future you want. It's about making smart decisions today that will allow you to live with peace, security, and abundance tomorrow. The sooner you start, the greater the rewards. The question is, will you take control of your financial future, or will you let money control you? The ability to take massive action is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who remain stuck in the same place year after year. Most people have dreams, ambitions, and goals they want to accomplish, but they hesitate. They wait for the perfect moment, for the right circumstances, or for more confidence before they begin. But the truth is, waiting is what keeps them from ever making progress. The people who succeed at the highest level don't wait for permission, and they don't wait until they feel ready. They take action, imperfect, relentless action, until they get results. The problem is that most people are trapped in paralysis by analysis. They overthink, they hesitate, and they convince themselves that they need more information, more planning, or more preparation before they can start. They become addicted to consuming knowledge, but fail to apply it. Learning is important, but knowledge without action is worthless. The only way to truly learn, grow, and succeed is by doing. Every successful entrepreneur, leader, or innovator got to where they are because they were willing to take action before they had all the answers. They understood that progress is made through experience, not just theory. One of the biggest myths that holds people back is the idea that they need motivation to take action. They wait until they feel inspired before they move. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. If you rely on motivation, you will only take action when you feel good, which means you will never be consistent. The most successful people don't depend on motivation. They rely on discipline and momentum. They start before they feel ready, and once they begin, momentum takes over. Action creates energy. The moment you take that first step, you break through resistance, and suddenly, moving forward becomes easier. Fear is another major roadblock that prevents people from taking action. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making mistakes. These are the chains that keep people stuck. But successful people understand that fear is a signal to move forward, not to retreat. Fear exists whenever you are stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that's a good thing. It means you are growing. The key is to train yourself to act despite fear. The more you face your fears, the weaker they become. The more you step into discomfort, the stronger and more confident you become. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is built through repeated action. Taking massive action also requires a shift in mindset. Too many people focus on problems rather than solutions. They dwell on what could go wrong, the obstacles in their way, or the reasons why something might not work. But those who take action at the highest level don't waste time on excuses. They focus on finding a way forward. When faced with setbacks, they don't stop. They adjust, adapt, and push through. They know that obstacles are part of the journey, and instead of seeing them as reasons to quit, they see them as opportunities to learn and grow. Speed is another critical factor in taking action. In today's fast-moving world, those who act quickly and decisively have a massive advantage. Opportunities don't wait. If you hesitate, someone else will take the chance that could have been yours. Successful people understand the power of speed of implementation. When they get an idea, they execute immediately. They don't wait for everything to be perfect. They take the first step, adjust as they go, and figure things out along the way. The faster you take action, the faster you get feedback, and the faster you can refine your approach to get better results. Another key to taking action is eliminating distractions and excuses. Most people tell themselves they don't have enough time, but the truth is they don't prioritize their time effectively. They waste hours on social media, television, or mindless activities that do nothing to move them closer to their goals. The most successful people guard their time fiercely. They eliminate distractions, set clear priorities, and focus on what truly matters. They understand that every moment wasted is a moment that could have been used to create something meaningful. Accountability is also a powerful tool for taking action. When you set a goal in your mind, it's easy to break promises to yourself. But when you make a commitment publicly or involve others, you create a level of responsibility that pushes you to follow through. This is why successful people surround themselves with those who push them to be better. They seek out mentors, coaches, or like-minded individuals who hold them to a higher standard. They know that when they are accountable to others, they are far more likely to stay consistent and take action even when it's difficult. Ultimately, taking massive action is about adopting a bias toward execution. It's about recognizing that nothing changes until you move. Planning is important, learning is valuable, but results only come from action. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every moment of success is the result of someone who took bold, relentless action despite uncertainty, fear, and doubt. The question is, will you be one of them? Will you keep waiting, overthinking, and hesitating? Or will you decide right now that you are going to take action no matter what? Because in the end, it's not the smartest, the most talented, or the most prepared who win. It's the ones who get up, take action, and refuse to stop until they succeed. Communication is the foundation of influence, leadership, and success in every area of life. Whether you're in business, relationships, or any social interaction, your ability to communicate effectively determines how people perceive you, respond to you, and whether they choose to follow your lead. The most successful individuals in the world, leaders, entrepreneurs, negotiators, and influencers, understand that mastering communication is not just a skill, it's a superpower. It allows you to persuade, inspire, connect, and create opportunities that others miss. The mistake most people make is believing that communication is just about talking. They assume that as long as they can put words together, they are good communicators. But real communication is not about talking, it's about creating impact. It's about making sure your message is received, understood, and acted upon. It's about making people feel something, driving them to take action, and leaving a lasting impression. The most powerful communicators don't just exchange words. They transfer energy, belief, and conviction through their words, their tone, and their presence. One of the most important aspects of powerful communication is clarity. If your message is not clear, people will not engage with it. The biggest reason people fail in sales, leadership, or relationships is because they assume others understand what they mean. But vague, weak, or confusing communication leads to misunderstandings, hesitation, and inaction. The best communicators simplify their message so it is easy to understand and impossible to ignore. They get to the point, they eliminate unnecessary fluff, and they make their words impactful. Another key element of strong communication is confidence. People don't just listen to what you say, they respond to how you say it. If you speak with uncertainty, hesitation, or doubt, people will not trust your message. But if you speak with conviction, certainty, and belief, people will be drawn to you. Confidence is not just about the words you use, it's about your tone, your body language, and your energy. A strong, they make them feel heard, understood, and valued. That is what builds trust, and trust is what makes communication truly powerful. Emotion is another game changer in communication. People don't make decisions based purely on logic, they make them based on emotion. If you want to move people, you must speak to their emotions, not just their intellect. The best communicators tell stories, use vivid examples, and inject passion into their words. They don't just list facts, they create an experience. They make people feel excitement, urgency, hope, or inspiration. They paint a vision so compelling that people don't just hear the words, they feel the message. Body language also plays a massive role in communication. Your words may say one thing, but if your body language contradicts them, people will always believe the nonverbal cues. A weak posture, lack of eye contact, fidgeting, or a lack of presence will make people doubt you, no matter how good your words are. But when you stand tall, own the space around you, and exude confidence through your movements, people will trust you before you even speak. Your presence communicates before your words do, so mastering your body language is just as important as mastering your speech. Timing and adaptability are also crucial in communication. The best communicators read the room. They understand the right moment to speak, the right tone to use, and the right way to deliver their message based on the situation. They adjust their approach based on who they are speaking to, rather than delivering the same message in the same way every time. They are flexible, reading cues, adjusting their energy, and ensuring that their communication connects with their audience on a deep level. Finally, the most powerful communicators take responsibility for how their message is received. Average communicators blame others when they aren't understood. They say, "That's not what I meant," or "They just don't get it." But great communicators take full ownership. They ask themselves, how can I make my message clearer? How can I ensure they feel what I'm saying? How can I adjust to connect better? They constantly refine their approach, ensuring that every word they speak is purposeful and impactful. At the end of the day, your success in life is determined by your ability to communicate effectively. Whether you're leading a team, selling a product, building a brand, or creating relationships, your communication skills will dictate the level of influence you have. The world listens to those who speak with clarity, confidence, and conviction. The question is, are you mastering this skill, or are you letting weak communication hold you back? The ability to build and leverage relationships is one of the most valuable skills you can develop in life. No matter how skilled, talented, or hardworking you are, your level of success will ultimately be determined by the quality of your relationships. People often think success is about knowledge, resources, or even luck, but the truth is, success is built through people. Your network, your ability to connect, and your capacity to bring value to others will open more doors for you than anything else. Most people make the mistake of approaching relationships with a transactional mindset. They think, what can I get from this person? Or how can they help me? But the most successful individuals approach relationships differently. They don't start by asking for something, they start by giving. They understand that the fastest way to build strong relationships is to add value first. When you become someone who genuinely helps others, who solves problems, and who contributes without expecting anything in return, people will naturally want to help you. Influence and opportunity flow to those who are seen as givers, not takers. Building powerful relationships starts with genuine connection. People can sense when someone is only interested in them for personal gain. But when you truly listen, show interest, and care about others, you create bonds that are far stronger than any surface-level networking tactic. The key is to listen more than you talk. Too many people are focused on impressing others, talking about themselves, or proving their worth. But real influence comes from understanding the other person, what drives them, what challenges they face, and what matters most to them. When you become a great listener, people naturally gravitate toward you. They trust you, respect you, and feel connected to you in a way that makes them want to do business with you, support you, or help you succeed. Another critical aspect of relationship building is proximity. You've probably heard the phrase, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." This isn't just a saying, it's a reality. Your mindset, habits, and level of success are deeply influenced by the people around you. If you surround yourself with driven, high-achieving, and positive individuals, their energy and thinking will push you to be better. But if you spend time with negative, unmotivated, or small-minded people, their limiting beliefs will hold you back. The most successful people are intentional about their circle. They seek out mentors, join masterminds, and put themselves in environments where they are surrounded by individuals who challenge them to grow. If you want to elevate your life, elevate the people you spend time with. One of the most overlooked aspects of building strong relationships is follow-up and consistency. Many people make a connection, have a great conversation, and then never follow up. They assume that if the relationship is meant to develop, it will happen naturally. But the truth is, strong relationships are built through consistent effort. A single meeting or interaction is not enough. The people who build the most powerful networks are those who stay in touch, check in regularly, and continue to provide value over time. A simple message, a quick check-in, or a small act of kindness can keep relationships strong and meaningful. Trust is the foundation of all great relationships, and trust is built through integrity and reliability. If you say you're going to do something, follow through. If you make a commitment, keep it. People respect and value those who are dependable, consistent, and honest. The fastest way to destroy relationships is to break trust, whether by being unreliable, self-serving, or dishonest. The people who build the strongest networks are those who stand by their word and operate with integrity no matter what. Another powerful way to build relationships is through strategic giving. Instead of thinking about how someone can help you, think about who you can introduce them to, what resources you can share, or what problems you can help them solve. When you connect two people who can benefit from knowing each other, you become a valuable bridge. When you share knowledge, insights, or opportunities, you establish yourself as a person of value. The more you give, the more people will remember you, appreciate you, and look for ways to help you in return. Finally, great relationships are built on authenticity. People respect those who are real, transparent, and true to themselves. You don't need to impress people with flashy success or pretend to be someone you're not. The most influential people are those who are genuine, vulnerable, and unafraid to show both their strengths and weaknesses. When you are real, people relate to you, connect with you, and trust you on a much deeper level. At the end of the day, success is not just about what you know, it's about who you know and, more importantly, who knows you and trusts you. If you master the skill of building and nurturing strong relationships, you will have endless opportunities, unwavering support, and a network that helps you achieve success beyond what you could ever accomplish alone. The question is, are you investing in your relationships or are you letting opportunities slip away?